Ricky Council the fourth, to me, has been probably the biggest storyline with the Sixers team from a positive standpoint. To read off his stats in that Celtics game specifically, which I thought he popped off the page, played 19 minutes in that, finished with 16 points and 4 boards, made his impact felt from an athletic standpoint, the way that he just attacked the basket, his body control, his just will and effort level is off the charts. What's kind of your thought process for what you've seen from Ricky so far?
Yeah, man. Every game I become more of a fan of Ricky Council. There's intangible skills that some guys have, and Maxey has that motor that you talk about, and kind of just like it never seems like he's tired. Council is the same way, obviously not playing the same amount of minutes, but he looks like a guy that doesn't matter if it's minute 1 or if it's minute 48, he is going to be out there, putting everything into it. So he's fantastic to watch. It's one of those things that it kind of makes the Jaden Springer, like moving on from Jaden Springer, feel a little bit better that knowing you kind of have a guy that's playing somewhat of a similar role, maybe even more versatile in a lot of ways.
Yeah, better than Jaden Springer.
He's better than Jaden Springer, like
Yeah.
right now. Obviously, there's still I think the handle is the biggest thing, and I'm really excited for him to come into next season. I think that all things stay the same here, and he comes back for next season. He's a guy that I think would be a massive piece to the bench rotation, given a little bit of a better jump shot and really just tightening up the handle. Sometimes he's a little bit haywire going to the basket, but dude, he's got that knack to him getting to the free throw line. He doesn't even he doesn't attract contact. He seeks it out, and he's so physical, which is something that a lot of guys don't have. And it's not like he's baiting fouls. He just is ready for carnage at the rim. And he's, he welcomes that. So it's really interesting to watch him play and him just be able to step in. And, he's one of those kids that he's ready. He's just ready to go. And it doesn't seem like any moment is too big for him. So he's ready to step in. And, as these forwards are aging on this current team, he's a guy that, in that 3-4 spot will, maybe take up some minutes here towards the end of the season, which I don't doubt. And I'm looking forward to it because he's a really nice guy to have on the team. And it seems like guys are comfortable giving him the rock and letting him go at it. So that's an interesting piece to it too. But I've been obviously very encouraged by Ricky Council.
Yeah, that has stood out to me as well, that this is a guy who's an undrafted free agent on a two-way contract. And there's moments, obviously some of this is by necessity for the state of the Sixers, but there's moments throughout the game where guys are just like, let's let Ricky cook. And he's doing well with it. That the way that he attacks the rim is super impressive. It looks bizarre. It looks out of control at times, but he's finishing at a super high rate. And as far as obviously small sample size, so I'll put that out as my disclaimer here, but the highest free throw rates in the NBA this season, Ricky Council ranks 4th across the entire league. As far as the most free throws per 36 minutes, there's only 2 players in the league averaging more. That's Giannis and Joel Embiid. That's kind of the rate that he's attacking. And I do think those numbers will obviously settle down as we get a larger sample size. I love kind of the frantic just way that he plays, the way that he attacks every moment he's out there. And I'm still not sure how I feel about him from an overall role perspective or positional standpoint. Right now, he's just a guy that I've liked the looks of the small ball lineups, was essentially have been either Batum or Tobias as the technical center, but it's largely been Ricky Council being the big man duties with that as far as getting up for rebounds. He skies for boards. He gets grown man rebounds too. So I'm all in on Ricky Council. I think the Sixers need to transform that into a traditional NBA contract and take him off the two-way contract. Give him one of the Sam Hinkie special 4-year deals. There's no doubt in my mind that guy is going to be a rotation player for a significant amount of time. And the sooner the Sixers can get him under organizational control, the better, because I'm in on Ricky Council the fourth. He's done everything to win me over. And one of the areas of his game which has particularly stood out, and I'm going to kind of juxtapose this with Tobias Harris here, is with Tobias, we're seeing such a conscious effort to get him involved, try and get him going, interrupt the entire flow of the team to get him his look. Ricky is making the most out of really nothing. He's getting putback slams. He's getting second chance points. There's really not a lot drawn in transition. He's been terrific. It's a lot of him making opportunities out of nothing. And to kind of swing this into the negative side of things, with Tobias Harris, it's been the exact opposite, that he's been a ball stopper. I had a guy tweet at me today, the shout out H, for saying that he turned into Jonah Bolden, which I do appreciate that callback. But is this the worst stretch of basketball we've ever seen Tobias Harris play?
Yeah, probably. I want him to I want him to nuance take there, but there's not much more to say. It's pretty brutal. he's he has the unique ability to find the times where his skill set is needed the most and do the least with it. He's always like he's always had these good stretches, alongside Joel or when Ben was here and or when Harden was here and sometimes they had some success together and he finds a way, man, when it's like, Tobias, we need you to step up, hold the scoring down a little bit, be a primary defender, attack the boards, do Tobias stuff. He's like, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna just shoot like 3 of 19." I think the most frustrating part of it is, at least recently, is the lack of hustle from
Yeah.
him. The honestly, like the adherence to even thinking about rebounding or getting on the floor. I know the charge stat is always brought up about how he has never taken a charge and
Zero
0
charges.
charges, which is like I honestly like it's hard to do to draw like to not draw an
They
offense
accidentally happen all the time.
all the time. Like you
I
find
it's
yourself under the basket and you're like, "Oh, your only option is to take the charge." It's honestly like it's disheartening because I thought at the minimum Tobias would at least be earnest and like have some heart on him, but he does not right now. And that's
0.
frustrating because they really need to win these games. They're in an actual race right now to avoid the play-in with like 3 or 4 teams. They need him, and he is just nowhere to be found, and that's really frustrating.